first opportunity I truly came here, you realize I had an entire pack of odd, distrustful doubts about what on earth was going on in light of the fact that there was a ton of stuff I was unable to comprehend. You're 7 years of age. And somebody is stroking you. It feels great. Mel Gibson's stunning revelations in the film Sound of Opportunity are presently the discussion of Hollywood. Be prepared as Mel uncovered the associated contribution with Hollywood's tip-top in the shameful domain of unlawful human exchanging by lifting the cloak on their seedy underside, who might you at any point suppose is in a tough situation no other person except for the renowned Oprah Winfrey. What then did Mel really say? Our future is our kids. Now the most important phase in killing this wrongdoing is mindfulness. It's astonishing the way in which one explicit film has figured out how to remain unnoticed in the sparkling universe of Hollywood, where contentions and embarrassments are all the rage. Alejandro Gomez, Monteviver's movie Sound of Opportunity, which investigates the shadowy universe of unlawful illegal exploitation, uncovered the horrifying procedures utilized by the honor to tempt clueless casualties into their malicious organizations. The lack of promotion, press inclusion, and supports for this critical film anyway is considerably seriously confounding. For what reason is the movie featuring a major entertainer, a laid-out chief, and being advanced by Mel Gibson, isn't being displayed in films? The film's message seems to have stimulated a few persuasive individuals. You inquire as to why in Sound of Opportunity Mel Gibson, a previous Activity star, plays the lead job and recounts the genuine story of Tim Ballard, a previous government specialist who motivated the foundation of Activity Underground Railroad, a program pointed toward protecting kids from the grip of unlawful illegal exploitation rings to spread mindfulness and empower fights this loathsome industry. The film uncovered the repulsions that happen thereby, and by notwithstanding the significance of the subject, significant real-time features like Amazon, Netflix, and Hulu amazingly turned down the movie, declining to give it a stage to openness on a worldwide scale. Given that these stages are regularly at the cutting edge of pushing socially cognizant material, it is a puzzling move. Might it at some point be that certain individuals tracked down the stunning disclosures in the film to be excessively private VIP voices that are typically prepared to help stirred causes, have been inquisitively quiet in regards to Sound of Opportunity fanning the flares? It seems like the influential individuals in Hollywood are all in all overlooking a film that uncovers the dull mysteries of their own business. The shortfall of help from these influential people asks the issue of how serious they are about civil rights and common liberties anyway. The interest doesn't stop there. Disney had at first been responsible for Sound of Opportunity, which procured the privileges after its consolidation with 21st Century Fox in 2019. Yet the drive was mysteriously deserted by the place of mouse, passing on numerous to ask why industry bits of gossip infer a more vile justification for Sound of Opportunity's dismissal and absence of showcasing some case that organizations like Disney, Netflix, and Amazon Prime intentionally passed on purchasing the movie's freedoms to hold the general population back from learning reality. With regards to Kid A B and the underground market, might it at any point be a work to cover a specific arrangement of business elites? See, these probably strong money managers who work in the background in Hollywood have reliably depicted themselves as helpful people with authentic hearts. Consider the possibility that, however, their certified thought processes were a lot hazier than we might have at any point envisioned. Envision that stuff that couldn't be the justification behind why this and that is behaving like might it. And afterward you at some point figure out later on the track that you are precisely on target. One such gathering of elites is the Great Club. This is the creme de la creme of worldwide elites. As per the gatekeeper, this restrictive gathering of tycoon altruists holds highly confidential gatherings directly in the core of New York City. For example, Bill entryways Soros, George Richard Buffett, Winfrey, Oprah, Ted Turner, and David Rockefeller Our continuous participants, Eli and Edith, expansive two less notable yet similarly affluent people, additionally show up passing on us to think about what genuinely happens away from public scrutiny. Oprah Winfrey is one name that quickly strikes a chord. Everybody knows all about her as the rich show host and humanitarian. With an unbelievable name right off base lock in light of the fact that Oprah has a not exactly good side that she would like to keep hid, might there be an evil side to the sovereign of talk that she doesn't believe that we should see? Well, the enthusiastically anticipated film Sound of Opportunity will uncover the disturbing methodologies utilized by Hollywood tip-top to discover clueless casualties. Oprah isn't explicitly referenced in the movie, yet it's difficult to disregard the claims that she is known as associations with notorious individuals like Harvey Weinstein. You see, regardless of Weinstein's well-established standing as a hunter, he and Oprah keep on being extraordinary companions. Entertainers were purportedly blamed for helping out him. After hypothesis that she might have even urged them to do so surfaced, these charges were experienced to Oprah's public picture as an ally of the Me Too development and a promoter of ladies' privileges. Some have said that she treated informers unjustifiably as a result of her relationship with Weinstein. Yet this is not really the most exceedingly awful of it. One of Oprah's most notorious choices was welcoming the so-called healer and criminal genius John of God to show up on her show. Envision a Brazilian healer who attests to have profound capacities and who apparently mends individuals. Seems like a scene from a Hollywood movie, no? In this occasion, reality turned out to be more unusual than fiction, as he came to be known. John of God regulated a recuperating center in Brazil, where powerless individuals headed to find solace and profound path. They had no clue about that the person with whose care they were entrusting had a shadowy and evil side. It wasn't some time before reality, with regards to John of God's crimes, became visible. Reports of SN and AB started to arise, drawing a frightening image of a took advantage of those man who provided to him. For with some timely help, what's genuinely confusing, however, is the part Oprah had in impelling John of God to popularity. She provided him with an endorsement by remembering him for her show, giving him admittance to a bigger crowd, and unexpectedly endorsing his unlawful action. This uncommon event occurred back in 2010 during one of Oprah's eye-catching portions named "Do You Trust in Wonders?" Little did her crowd had any idea that the marvel they were going to witness was the ascent of a crook acting like a healer of the spirit. Yet regardless of whether Oprah really tried to fix her standing by showing empathy for the fearless ladies who approached with allegations again against John of God, clearly her inclusion had currently hopelessly harmed her standing. The mischief had been finished, and the odious connection among Oprah and this stealing healer would reside on in the pages of shocking history forever. And in the event that that weren't horrendous enough, contention has long encircled Oprah Winfrey's administration Foundation for Young Ladies in South Africa. In 2007, Oprah opened the Administration Foundation for Young Ladies, enlivened by Nelson Mandela and her guarantee to him. No one guessed that this try would rapidly transform into a wellspring of debate. Lighting reports and out from the outset, the South African government didn't stand by to communicate their loathing. Subsequent to catching wind of Oprah's pretentious drive, they wail over the school's costly costs and scrutinized its pertinence in a country where destitution is uncontrolled. Oprah, anyway, didn't let that stop her. Zero opportunity. She pushed forward with a feeling of glory and a smidgen of pomposity, constructing a glitz establishment with expensive salons and rich exercise centers. By then, paranoid fears truly took off. Bits of hearsay developed far and wide, with many asserting that the extravagant establishment was just a front for a lot hazier venture, unlawful illegal exploitation. The overabundance and abundance caused to notice themselves and energize tales that vulnerable young women were being ready for an existence of double dealing. Despite the fact that there was never any hard confirmation to back up these outrageous charges, there is no rejecting that the mumbles raised the generally quarrelsome Foundation's degree of secret. And doubt anyway, it didn't end there. The association was immediately tormented with embarrassments and discussions, which uncovered various and terrible underside that Oprah had made a respectable attempt to keep covered. One terrifying event was a specialist named Virginia, whose obligation it was to watch out for the quarter she had taken part in very improper way of behaving with one, as well as a few understudies between the ages of 13 and 15. These exposed little youngsters, picked by Oprah herself, were manhandled by the individual responsible for taking care of them. It was a shame to Oprah and an upsetting representation of the inward functions of the Foundation. Oprah dipped in with a group of investigators to track down reality, frantic to shield the brand she had endeavored to fabricate and reestablish her standing. Yet the murkiness didn't scatter with Virginia's outrage. Under 2 years after the fact in the Oprah's Foundation, there was one more issue disrupting data became visible that uncovered a culture of terrorizing and savagery among the messes. With it was found that a 15-year-old young lady had been threatening casualties into quietness and constraining them not to educate their folks or the police regarding the actual squabbles. Shockingly, 7 understudies were removed for participating in improper way of behaving and scaring conduct. Regardless of whether Oprah tried to tackle these defects, it gave the idea that they were imbued in the Foundation's essential design. Fans, in the meantime, haven't been hesitant to voice how nauseated they are with these alleged Hollywood power players. One fan remarked, "She's an overseer, and I'm glad to see more individuals are becoming mindful."